Mark finally had enough stolen copper pipe to trade in for his dream car, a C4 Corvette. But as he was driving it off the lot, he wasn't paying attention and crashed his brand new car. Fortunately, everyone was okay, but the Vette was totaled. Uh-oh. Now Mark has always been a bit of a troublemaker, and he was less than helpful during the investigation.
I'm telling you, that fire truck came out of nowhere.
It was ruled that he was at fault, and he was sent straight to jail. After serving his time, his life was in shambles. He didn't have a home, had to beg for change, and didn't know where his next meal was coming from. He needed something to turn his life around, and fast. So he did the only rational thing he could. Let's just say he took a gamble, and it worked out. It worked out big time. He said he wasn't going to let the money change him, but who are we kidding? Now Mark is in need of a new car, but he's bored with American classics. Nope, he's got his mind set on a Lamborghini. So in this video, let's build him a dealership to shop at and some cars to go in it. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is have our base. And as usual, I'm going to use the mill system for the foundation of this build. We're actually going to utilize that extra brick of height between the base and the tiled off sidewalk. You'll see how a little later in the build. After we've got our base,
we're going to build a wall.
For the entryway, I wanted the first thing a minifig saw when they walked in was a big, beautiful trophy case. There's a bronze, silver, and gold trophy here, and they're actually pretty cool little builds. They fit snugly into the case, and once everything's put together, this little entryway section looks really good. This next little section of wall is meant to represent the different color options that you can pick for the interior and exterior of the car. It's a pretty simple snot building technique. I used 1x2x2 snot bricks in order to build the 1x1 bricks on their sides. And this little section is the wheel wall. You can put any wheels you want here, this is just what I had. And while we're here, let me show you a cool little trick you can use on your own builds. Here's a way to add brake calipers to your wheels. You just need these 6 pieces. Keep in mind they're not going to roll very well once it's all put together, but I think they look really good on MOCs, and I use this technique all the time. Now let's add that wheel to the wall and add a couple more columns and a completely non-functional elevator. And here's the first of many, many, many Italian flags that I stuck in throughout this build. And while we've got it opened up, let's go ahead and fill in some interior details as well. This sofa provides a nice waiting space for customers in the main lobby. Now I've never actually been inside of a dealership like this before, so I kind of had to take some creative liberties as to what goes on inside, but I like the way it turned out. And I built the front desk with lots of wedge plates and wedge tiles to kind of mimic the shaping of an actual Lamborghini. There's a computer on the desk and another Italian flag. There's also a cute little houseplant here too. And now that that's done, let's start closing it up. I wanted the building to be very open, lots of clear panels, lots of clear glass, so I came up with this pattern stacking clear panels, clear bricks, and then using snot bricks on the side so I could continue a different pattern on the sides of the clear panels. And overall, I think it turned out really cool. I really like the way it looks. And now we're ready to actually put our sidewalk in, which, like I mentioned earlier, is going to allow us to utilize that one brick space from the mills plate, and it fits snugly right in place here. And after that, let's put a couple more columns, and then finally this opening and closing door on the front of the building. And this large opening door is going to break up that kind of flat plane of the front of the building, so it'll give us an interesting shape, and in the reality of the minifigs, it'll allow them to move the vehicles in and out of the building easily. This plate and tile section on the top of the first floor is going to allow us to remove the second and third floor from the building, so we can actually access the inside once it's all put together. And let's add some greenery to the outside of the building just to liven it up a little bit. I used a Ninjago blade and a cone here to represent a potted plant. And from here, you can actually see what I was talking about with the entryway. So as soon as you open these doors, you're going to be able to see that trophy case that we built earlier. A couple more details and we're done with the first floor. We're going to add this little swag stand with some merch on it here in the front lobby. And I made these little stools using steering wheels, which I think was pretty clever. Now, if you've been on this channel before, you know I tend to build vehicles in kind of that 6-stud format, but this should fit an 8-stud wide car if you want to build one for your own Speed Champion size vehicles. And as far as cars on the first floor, I think the two I'm going to showcase is this Diablo and a Countach. Speaking of building one yourself, I have made instructions for this whole thing and everything on this channel available on my Patreon and my Rebrickable page. So if you see something that you want to put in your own collection, definitely check it out. Feel free to like the video and maybe even leave a comment. Maybe, if you're feeling like it, subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. And with that, we're done with the first floor. There's plenty of details here. I think my favorite is probably the trophy case or the wheel wall. How about you? The base of the second floor is very, very sturdy. It's about 2 bricks high and carries over some of the same design features from the first floor onto the second. Like before, after we've got our base, the next thing we want to do is build a wall. Let's put some of these columns in place and of course finish off our completely non-functioning elevator. And we'll add this little wall here, which can be removed later to actually access the manager's office. And the manager's office, like the outside of the building, is encased in glass as well. A couple more columns, and then we're going to add the final glass walls on the top floor, and we're almost done here. Just like the first floor, we're also going to have an opening door up here, which again is going to break up that kind of box shape, give us an interesting kind of angle here, and then also allow the vehicle on the second floor to kind of move in and out of the building if they needed it to. We're going to add a layer of plates and tiles so that we can take the roof off of the building and access the second floor when we need to. And we're going to cover up the snot bricks with some more plates and tiles to give the roofline a nice smooth appearance, and once everything is in place, the whole building is going to look really sleek and modern, just like a real Lambo. Similar to the first floor, I'm going to add a touch of green to the building. I think it gives it a nice color pop and makes the whole thing just stand out a little bit more. With that done, let's put the second floor in place. It's looking pretty good. I even made a spot for a logo here. Designing something at this scale has proven to be quite a challenge though. I haven't decided if I want to try to brick build a logo or just make a little decal. What do you think the best option is? I do know the building wouldn't be complete without an Italian flag on the outside, so let's build one real quick. Let's put the flag in place, and now let's add a couple more details into the second floor. I wanted the car on the second floor to be something really special, so I built this Mura just for this occasion. And check out these custom rims from GT Korea Cars. He makes custom rims for all different sizes of LEGO vehicles, so definitely check him out. I'm going to leave his link down in the description. Here's a look at the manager's desk. And let's get one more final peek of the second floor before we close it up with the roof. The roof itself, not much going on here, just a plate with some tiles and some air conditioning. I did add a little bit of greenery, but that's about it. And the building's done, but something's missing. After some consideration, what I decided to do was build a courtyard to go in front of the building. We're going to add some cool features to it. We're going to have a stand for a car, a fountain, some seating, some more plants, and even some room for people to come actually hang out and check out the cars. And speaking of the fountain, I'm really proud of how it turned out, so let me show you how I built it. Basically using a combination of domes, radars, and this bar, I was able to get a pretty convincing kind of round structure for it. I think it looks really cool. And for the water, I got this idea from Brickcraft's channel. Definitely check him out. He was making a kind of Roman Colosseum sort of mock, and he used a very similar technique on a fountain that he made. I thought it was just brilliant, so I wanted to try out myself. Basically, you're going to use the energy blast pieces that are common in Iron Man sets and that sort of stuff. But you're going to have to just sit them in place and hope they don't fall off, line them up just right, and then put this radar dish on top and press it down, and if you're lucky, it'll hold just fine. To top the whole thing off, I used a small trophy piece. And then for the water, I probably should have done this first, but I didn't. I'm basically putting a bunch of 1x1 translucent round pieces underneath the fountain, just putting them in place. They're obviously not set down or anything, but just sit them where they go, and it should be just fine. After a little bit of struggling, it's all done, and it looks great. After I finished the fountain, I added some park benches, and the most important part of this courtyard is the display stand for a car out in front. And again, I added an Italian flag onto it, so there is plenty of Italy throughout this entire build. And I wanted to tie in this courtyard to the main building, so I added a little bit of greenery using some of the same pieces that we used before and another cypress tree. And of course, to actually connect it, we used some Technic pins. And now that the courtyard is done, let's put it in place. But again, something's missing. What is it? Oh yeah, a car. Now I could have used a Lamborghini that I already had built. I have the Sesto Elemento, the Huracan, a Revuelto, and a Gallardo that I haven't put into this, so I could have done that. But I got to thinking, LEGO actually just released 2 new Speed Champion Lamborghinis. And y'all know I like to shrink down the 8-stud wides to 6-stud, so I figured I would do that here too. I jumped on Studio, got to designing, made some instructions for myself, which will also be available on Rebrickable and Patreon, and got to building. And here we go. We've got a Huracan STO and a Revuelto. Now, I know I'm not pronouncing all these words right, but that's what we got. And I thought the orange one, I'm not going to call it the Revuelto again. I thought the orange one actually looked the best here. So I put that out front, and our courtyard is complete. Now all we need to do is add some people. And the most Italian thing I could think of. A pizza car for an American pizza company operated by a Japanese video game's idea of what an Italian plumber would be like. And that's it. What'd you think of the build? What was your favorite part? Let me know down in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching the video. Again, instructions for everything are going to be available on Patreon and Rebrickable. Speaking of Patreon, a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters, especially Stan, Zach, Derek, Jim, and Ricardo. I'll see y'all in the next one.